Now that we have released the water out into the valley, we have a lot more left to do. And as you can see, we can now easily collect the collectibles at the bottom of this pyramid because the water has now, of course, lowered and released. We have released a few mums on us, but we got the Jiggy and all the rest of the collectibles. And now we can take a look at this nice little pyramid. Nice little cozy in here. There's all these mums chasing us about. These guys are ugly. But it is now time to exit back into the valley. Alright, so yeah, so as you can see, the water has actually filled up this middle area. So if you were wondering how to get these notes before, I guess technically you can get these with the Wonder Wing ability if you are very careful and you have like tons of gold feathers. But it's much easier to wait until the water is released. That way you can simply swim underwater and you can collect all these collectibles, getting this Jinjo. We only need one more left for this world, and of course the rest of the notes down here. So we are getting much closer to the end of Gobi's Valley because as you can see, we already have 80 notes. We just have a few more notes, one more Jinjo, a few more collectibles, a couple more Jiggies, and we are out of here. And there's actually a Mumbo token right here too, so that's kind of nice that they give us one right here, even though we have plenty. We are plentiful on Mumbo tokens, but it is time to now continue onwards. So now we're going to go ahead and swim up to the surface. And I gotta say, this valley looks a lot more complete with the water there. It has a much better look to it. It's not as dry. But now we're going to go ahead and continue onwards. And we're going to go this way. Go ahead and climb the top. Our good old pal Jinxie the Sphinx. I actually want to use the feather pad up here. That feather pad under the water, I don't believe you can use that. We're actually going to go ahead and put the wading boots on because we actually missed a few things over this way behind Jinxie. An extra life right there. There's actually some notes out here that we missed, so shame on me for missing these, but we're going to go ahead and collect our musical notes because we're feeling very musical. And of course there's a Mumbo token hidden in the very corner of this section here, and that's wonderful that we ran out of our wading boots. I feel like the timer on that's kind of crappy, but anyways, we're gonna go ahead and use our Wonder Wing to collect the rest of these notes, and we will proceed on, avoiding that hand, the mummified hand, creepy enough. Similar to, again, those guys remind me of the Four Masters from The Legend of Zelda. Very creepy. And I want to say that they were inspired by those enemies in Zelda, but I don't really have any evidence of that. But anyhow, we can now continue on over here because we have a couple other Jiggies to collect still. And now that we have the water released, that opens up a few more possibilities. And it gives us access to a couple other Jiggies as well. So now we're going to go over here, and as you see we have more notes. And what we want to do is actually hit this button right here. This switch has, as you can see, it has an empty honeycomb symbol on it. So we want to go ahead and do the Beak Buster move, and that will actually cause an empty honeycomb to appear inside of the cactus. We can now fly through that and collect that empty honeycomb, but first we're going to go ahead and hit this switch, which gives us 10 seconds to enter this next pyramid. Let's go ahead and do so. See what awaits us. Now we have a little bit of a puzzle here. So we have a Mum that's going to kind of get in our way. Of course, you can use the Wonder Wing to destroy him, and he will not keep attacking you. But we're going to let him do it because it's kind of, I guess it's a little bit more fun to do it that way. But now we have a puzzle. So essentially what we want to do is use the Beak Buster move to flip these switches, or these panels I should say. So you want to flip these panels until you get matches of every single face on the panel. So you have red feathers, blue eggs, honeycombs, Jinjos, Mumbo, Banjo, and Kazooie, and I believe there's a musical note one as well. So if memory serves me correct, I should be able to get through this with no problem. However, like I said in a previous episode, my memory-based minigame skills have kind of faded off in the distance. I used to be, I swear, when I was younger, I used to be very, very skilled at memory-based games where I would only have to like look at all the things like once and I could memorize it and had a nice space in my brain to memorize it. But now we went ahead and completed it, so we're gonna go ahead and collect our next Jiggy. I believe we only have, oh, only a few more left to get. But yeah, I don't know why my memory-based skills have kind of faded off in the past, but it's no problem because we collected our Jiggy and we are moving right along here. We actually want to go collect that. I think I want to collect that extra, or that empty honeycomb, but first we're actually going to go over here. Because if you wait long enough, as you noticed before, there's a magic carpet that will come over here. So we are going to take a nice ride on the magic carpet. You want to make sure it is not going to fade away. So it will respawn immediately once it despawns. And wow, the camera really kind of screwed me up there. But now you will see this camel who is, I guess, tied to this little rock. I'm gonna go ahead and talk to him. It's too hot for Gobi. I need some shade. Please help me. So this is Gobi. So what we want to do is use the Beak Buster move on the rock. That'll release him. Here's your reward, bear. Gobi's off to cool down. So yes, Gobi is the guy who is the name of the valley. So yes, this is Gobi's valley. He's the camel. I guess he owns the entire valley. But it's okay because he gave us another Jiggy and we only have 2 more left to find. Gobi is quite a character, and if you know this guy and if you play the Banjo-Kazooie games, he does reappear in the sequel, so that's kind of cool. But he has a few other things he's going to help us with before we end things off here at Gobi's Valley. So, such a nice camel. He's probably one of my favorite NPCs, other than Ruby, the snake charmer that we found in the first pyramid, or I guess inside of, yeah, I guess it was the first pyramid. I gotta say, Gobi's probably another one of my favorite NPCs. He's a character. I mean, he's a camel, but he's got so much expression and so much personality, and it's just amazing. He is very well designed, very well written, and his dialogue is one of the funniest out of most of the NPCs, other than, well, I guess Kazooie's not an NPC, but other than Kazooie and Bottles and Grunty, I think Gobi is one of the funniest characters. But now we are going to go ahead and head atop of Jinxie once again, because we need to get that feather pad, that way we can, or the flight pad, that way we can go ahead and collect that empty honeycomb that we made appear inside of the cactus. So we're gonna go ahead and do that right now. All right, go ahead and use our beak bomb move because I love using that to get around a lot quicker. And we are now going to collect our empty honeycomb. Very nice. And there's actually one more left to find in this world. We can't get it actually quite yet, but we will be here very soon, because the next thing we need to do is actually go to the very beginning of the world. And if you remember, Trunker was in need of water. But now that we have Gobi over here, Trunker wants rain. I'm shriveling up. And the infamous line from Kazooie again. This is, I think, the same dialogue we saw in the beginning of the world. Yeah, of course, he needs water, even though there's water right around him and he can't get it. This tree looks a bit thirsty, but I need all my water for myself. Yeah, so what we want to do is actually use the Beak Buster move on Gobi's hump, and he will spit out some water into Trunker's mouth, as gross as that looks and sounds. Ah, lovely water. Trunker feels great. And then Gobi's going to run off to cause some more trouble wherever the heck he's going. But that will give us our 9th Jiggy. Very nice. I'm going to go ahead and climb atop one of these trees. That way we can reach it, because unfortunately we can't climb a Trunker. Touch my honey this time and you'll be sorry. So yeah, this is actually, I think this is the first instance of the beehive having bees surrounding it. So any beehives have bees surrounding it. Once you break the beehive open, the bees will go crazy and attack you. Of course, if you are quick and nimble, or if you have maybe the running shoes on, you can easily avoid it. I always just break. Another strategy I like to use is fire Kazooie's eggs from afar at the beehive, breaking it open, and the bees will actually not attack you until you get close enough to them. And then I just use Kazooie's Talon Trot move to go and collect the honeycombs before the bees have time to attack. So I think that's always the best strategy, in my opinion. But now it is time to go behind this pyramid, because we actually forgot our last Jinjo, the green one, and that is the final Jinjo, giving us our 10th and final Jiggy of the world. And we have one more collectible left to find. We have now collected all of the Jiggies in Gobi's Valley. Very nice. But we still have a little bit left to do here before we exit. I can't believe that we're almost done here, though. It feels like we literally just got here. It's crazy how fast these worlds go sometimes. However, this world's pretty much going to be the last one where we can get done, that we can get done in like a pretty quick amount of time, because of the rest of the worlds in this game do take a little bit of time, especially the last two. So definitely do not get used to getting these worlds done in a... I played this game multiple times, so I pretty much know exactly where to go and what to do for the most part. But even the last 3 worlds I played many times, and I still, they still take me quite a bit of time to complete, just because there is so much to them. Still the same amount of Jiggies and collectibles in each world, 10 Jiggies, 100 notes, and everything like that. But once we get to those last worlds, you'll kind of see what I'm talking about. They're definitely increased in scale. You'll definitely see what I'm talking about. But now we're going to take this magic carpet ride over to Gobi over here, because he's now moved spots again. And that is the last of the notes. We have one more thing left to do, and it is involving our friend Gobi here. See if I can't talk to him. So what we actually want to do is use the Beak Buster move once again on his hump. And this time he will spit us out our last extra honeycomb. Bah, that's it. I'm leaving this desert to find some peace and quiet. So he is out. We have actually caused Gobi enough trauma to where he is actually leaving his own valley. Very sad, but we had to do what we had to do to 100% the game. So as you notice, there is a doorway here. There's nothing that's required behind this doorway other than it's one of the actually stop and swap eggs. The stop and swap function is something I mentioned in an earlier episode. Basically just an extra function of the game. I'm not really going to go into too in depth with that in this Let's Play. But it's essentially a function that was essentially useless on the N64, but on the Xbox Live Arcade versions, they definitely improved it. Again, I'm not really going to talk too much about it, maybe at the end of the Let's Play, but for now, we are actually going to exit Gobi's Valley because we are officially done here. We will go ahead and actually take the waiting boots back over. And if you remember, we went ahead and unlocked another Jiggy in Grunty's lair over in this section right here. Actually, there's a sarcophagus that holds another Jiggy for us. We're going to go ahead and collect that. So as you can see, we have the shock jump pad that's still rotating. But I think we can't reach it like that. So you can't reach it by a normal jump. Get rid of that mum bum, or at least get him paralyzed for a little bit. Man, these guys are really in our way now. So what we want to do is use the shock jump pad to reach the Jiggy like that. You just want to time it perfectly to where Banjo is able to get a nice angle on the Jiggy at the top of that sarcophagus. And it is now time to move on because we have some more things to do with the running shoes. Now that we are at the top of the entrance to Freezeezy Peak, if you remember, the running shoes were located right here, and we can now activate that flight pad, and we can actually make it over to the flight pad before the 10 seconds runs out, or 12 seconds, with the running shoes. So now we have the ability to fly in Grunty's lair. Very nice. I love that they added this addition, being able to kind of travel even more around Grunty's lair in areas you weren't able to with the flight pad. But if you remember, we still have a Jiggy to collect from the Grunty Switch and Freezeezy Peak that we never were able to get to. But now that we have access to the flight pad, we can grab it. That is another Jiggy down in Grunty's lair. That makes 7, meaning there's only 3 more left to find in the overworld. Very nice. Man, we're getting right through this game with no problem. We are getting that much closer to the end and defeating the Wicked Witch herself. Take care of this guy. He's such a nuisance. No, I missed. Go ahead and take care of this guy. And after we do so, we're going to actually go back into Bubblegloop Swamp because we have some more stuff to finish up there now that we have the running shoes. And now that you actually have access to the flight pad, you can actually get atop the hat of the Grunty head statue here. The disgusting Gruntilda has spider pancakes for breakfast. Very nice. I love learning something new from Gruntilda. She's always very wise with Grunty, with the knowledge of her sister. But yeah, so you actually collect these collectibles on top of the hat here. And if you go over here, go ahead and break this cobweb open with the eggs. We have another cauldron that we can use to transport around the layer. However, we don't have the pair with this one, so we'll have to wait a little bit longer till we find the next one. I will meet you back at Bubblegloop Swamp. Alright, so now that we have transformed into Crocodile Banjo and Bubblegloop Swamp, as you remember, we still have some unfinished business here. And I wanted to wait until I got the running shoes because you will see why once we enter the big ol' alligator here in the center of this section. Now we can go ahead and enter through his nostrils. Just want to actually get up here. Yeah, I can't remember if he says anything, but yeah, so we're going to actually go ahead and finally travel inside of the giant alligator, as weird as that sounds. Now that we're Crocodile Banjo, we can fit right in here, and this is actually where the rest of our notes were located, in case anybody was wondering. We finally finished our note count, grabbed another Mumbo token right there, and we have some more stuff down here. No more notes. We have some red feathers and some blue eggs. We might as well replenish our counts here while we're here. And as you can see, the running shoes are right there. Now we have one last task left to do in Bubblegloop Swamp, and we have another crocodile. I'm Mr. Vile, greediest croc of them all. Play my game to win a prize. Press A to accept or B to chicken out. We are going to accept. Game is simple. Eat more red yumblies than me. Press X to eat yumblies. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go. So this is Mr. Vile. So this minigame is kind of a pain in the butt. These first couple rounds are pretty simple. Simply what you want to do is collect more red yumblies than Mr. Vile here. He will move pretty quick. I believe he actually uses Rubber Band AI. So you want to make sure that you are keeping a nice little trail of red yumblies here, because if he collects more than you, you will have to redo this all over again. And there's actually 3 different rounds, so if you fail any of the rounds, you will have to restart from round 1, I believe, if you mess up any of the rounds. So as you can see, we have a nice little lead on him here. Again, this first round isn't really anything. It's kind of cake. You just have to make sure you have a nice little path of yumblies. A nice strategy I always use is try to get right in front of him and take all the yumblies he tries to gobble up. That way you can not only stop his count from going up, but you can add more to yours. 5 seconds left on the clock. We're already ahead of him by like 6 points. Got to keep this lead up and we will be good to go right here. Nice lead of 4. Grr. You only win easy game. Now we play harder game. Eat reds. Avoid yellow grumblies. They not ripe. Ready? 3, 2, 1. You have to eat the yumblies. All right. So now we are going to be eating the red yumblies again, except we have to avoid the yellow ones. So this gets a little bit more challenging. This one's still pretty simple. Again, just kind of keeping the same strategy as you did the first round, except you want to not eat of course, the yellow grumblies. Focus on eating more red grumblies than Mr. Vile. Again, using the strategy to get ahead of them works pretty good. It's a little bit more challenging in this round, simply because you have the yellow grumblies to get in your way. And if you actually eat one of the yellow grumblies on accident, you will be, I think, paralyzed or kind of stunned for like a few seconds, which can be kind of annoying because that can allow him to gain a lead over you. But if you keep a nice pattern like I am here, as long as you keep a little bit of a lead on him, you should do fine. He's kind of catching up here. I'm gonna make sure I don't lose this. Oh crap, we're tied. No, see how quickly he can get ahead. Like, you really just want to make sure, and he moves pretty fast. Like, he moves faster than you do. So now we actually have another 4 lead on him, and we won that round. Bah! Lucky Greenie wins. Must play last game. Only eat what is shown at top of screen. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Go. So yeah, so this is round 3. This is the final round, and I am going to use the running shoes. This is the reason why I waited until I unlocked the running shoes, because this round is a pain in the butt without them, and I don't care. I want to be very clear though. This can be done without the running shoes. It's very challenging, but it can be done. I'm not confident enough in my skills to do this without this round without the running shoes. That's why I wanted to wait until I unlocked them. As you can see, he is still not too far behind us. I mean, we're using the running shoes and he's still catching up. But this round is a little bit different. So you essentially just want to, like he said, eat only the color grumblies that's shown on the screen. I believe that they each grumbly changes on the screen after every 10 seconds. So that's another strategy if you want to use. So you just want to wait until it gets down to like 11 or 21 seconds, and then you can switch to the next grumbly. Of course, if you're eating the wrong color when the other one flashes on the screen, you will be stunned for a little bit of time. But we have a nice little comfortable lead on him, and I think we have this down packed. Very nice. Again, another reason why I wanted to wait till we got the running shoes. Mr. Vile never lost before. Greenie can have prize. And we have finally collected our last Jiggy at Bubblegloop Swamp. Mr. Vile now has tougher challenge. If Greenie not scared, you must win next 3 games to win 3 extra lives. But each time Greenie loses, Mr. Vile chomps you for 1 life. Press A to accept or B to slide off like a slug. Yeah, as enticing as that sounds, we're going to go ahead and pass since we got what we needed. That's not really necessary. Mr. Vile is bad as Crocodile. Look, everyone, Greenie is running for his life. So yes, but we are finally done here at Bubblegloop Swamp. So I will now meet you at Freezeezy Peak because we have something left to finish there. Now that we have arrived back at lovely Freezeezy Peak, I love it here, man. It's like a winter wonderland. I know I said that last time, but I just love it. The music, the vibe, the snowy atmosphere. Oh, I'm in love. Never thought I could be in love with the level design, but I am with this one. But now we go ahead and travel back up to Boggy's sled race, and he's got another race for us. Hey, buddy. Fancy a race against Boggy? Press A to accept, or B to chicken out. Yeah, so this is actually not able, you're not able to do this without the running shoes, so we weren't able to do this before. So yes, this is basically the exact same race as it was before, except instead of being Walrus Banjo, we're a regular Banjo-Kazooie, and we have the running shoes. However, Boggy does not let up on you at all. As horrible as a father as this guy is, he is quite a racer. So this race can be a little bit more challenging, and I missed some flags there, that's not good. The running shoes give you, and fortunately enough, you are on not on a timer on this one, of course, because you're doing a race here. That would be kind of that would be dickish if they made you keep collecting running shoes throughout this. That would actually be very challenging. I'm kind of surprised they didn't do that. But again, the same type of race before. I think it's the exact same course and everything as far as placement of the flags. You just want to make sure you get a nice little lead on him. And we're not really doing that now, but the rubber band AI is kind of working against me here. And the guy is sludging right in front of us. So you just want to make sure you get right in front of him, try to slow him down. Again, I'm not doing great here. And we're actually going to lose this, it looks like. Wow. That was a fail. We lost to the horrible father. Hard luck, buddy, but old Boggy wins this time. Oh, great. That's embarrassing. Go ahead and try this again. Come on, buddy, try again. Press A to race or B to back out. This guy is, he's egging us on. We have to take him down. We have to show him who the real bear is, the real man of the house, of the igloo. Let's go again. All right, so he's got a little bit of a lead on us, but again, rubber band AI is going to allow us to kind of catch up to him a little bit until we get close enough. Then he's going to sling right out ahead of us probably. Man, I missed that same set of flags again. That's crazy. It's almost like that hill kind of gives you like a little bit of a leap, and it kind of Banjo kind of leaps, or Kazooie leaps a little bit over that group of flags. But anyways, looks like we have a little bit of a nicer lead here. We're going to try to get through this with no problem. Of course, rubber band AI is going to cause Boggy to get right behind us. But I think this time we have it down pat. So yeah, you just want to make sure he does not... again, this is another trick, like I said, is if you just get him right behind you and have him bump into you, that'll kind of slow him down a little bit. But yeah, this one can be a little bit more challenging, but not impossible. And I think that'll do it. We've finally shown him who the real bear is. Oh, I've lost again. Take my other medal. Oh, I missed. I'm off to look for my kids' presents. Yeah, man, you need to go be a father already. How many races does it take for this guy to realize he needs to go father his children? Very sad. But anyways, he now gives us another prize. We will take that, and that will finally conclude Freezeezy Peak. We were finally done here. Go and collect this extra life. And we will move right along. If you head back into the igloo after beating both races with Boggy, you will see that he has finally returned to his nice home. His bear cubs are so happy that we saved Christmas for them and rescued their presents. And of course, Boggy, the wonderful dad, is snoozing away. Man, this guy's horrible. Look at him. What a joke of a father. Just kidding. But anyways, we're going to go ahead and head out because we are finally done at Freezeezy Peak. So it is now time to break open the next note door because we have another section of the lair to explore. I don't like stairs, much in my lair. They always make me gasp for air. Man, that wasn't as clever as a rhyme. What are you doing, Grunty? You're slacking. I guess the further we get into our adventure, the weaker she gets with her rhymes. But anyways, we are now moving right along, and as you see, there's another note door here. It is now time to open this one, but we're going to save that for the next episode. So next time on Banjo-Kazooie, we will open this next note door, exploring more of the lair and accessing the next world. Until then, I will see you later.